Hello, hello. Let's see if this thing started up. How is everybody doing on this lovely Thursday? Happy Thursday. It is almost the weekend. We got a nice size NHL slate going on today. A really tricky one, too, because I haven't found, at least from what I've seen, too much that stood out to me. I posted last night about the Montreal Canadiens. Then I get off my flight today and I see the stuff going on about the Philadelphia or the Flyers firing. There's comments coming on through. So definitely curious. See how the slate goes. We're gonna go dive in. We're gonna check goalies. We're gonna check lineups. We're then gonna go into our usual. We'll make a couple best bets on the game lines, on the puck lines, and then of course we're gonna finish off with. We'll finish off with a goal scorer of the day. We got some really exciting stuff going on today. Obviously, MLB first day. I'm sure a lot of you guys are watching that. Balls seem juiced early on. Balls seem real juiced early on. We'll see how that goes as well. Appreciate you guys all hanging out. We're gonna get right into this. Let me actually just share it as well on Discord. Cool. Let's get this out. And then let me just pull up Money Puck as well. So, the one nice thing about doing the later shows is that you get all the goalies basically confirmed. We're most likely not going to get any Flyers news. I don't know if they even did a morning skate today. I think the Flyers are going to be a complete guessing game at this point as to what they're going to bring out. I do expect the Flyers to come out hot. We'll talk a little bit more when we get to that game, but typically when a coach has been fired, especially when team recently has been playing well, Torts kind of came out in the media and talked about it as well. Typically speaking, again, this is typically speaking, the players all want to play their best game. They want to prove a point like, hey, we don't actually suck. It's been this coach that's bringing us down. So it's kind of like a weird way for the players kind of start playing better because they want to place the blame on somebody else. It's also, you don't know who this interim is. This interim might be your head coach next year, so you're playing your absolute hardest. Chase, are you good? Wasn't sure exactly what that meant. But typically, what would happen is, look, this interim coach, he might be your head coach next year. You don't know if this is the guy or not. So they're going to most likely, be looking to impress this guy, right? Because whether this is your coach next year or not, he's definitely going to have a meeting with the next coach and be like, all right, well, how did these guys do? What did these guys respond to? Like, coaches talk. So whether he's the actual guy next year or he's just the interim that's going to be kind of compiling reports and letting the other guy know, it definitely makes a difference. So we'll take a look into that. Lindgren in net against Gustafsson. Confirmed. Dobes goes in today, not Montembeau. Vejmelka's back. They've been riding him hard, and he's been struggling lately. I think he started like 15 straight games. Curious to see how he does. Lyon back in the net for Detroit. Didn't he just play against... He just played against Colorado. I don't think he played a great game. That's kind of curious. Jari versus Reimer. Reimer deserves to be the starter right now. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen's been struggling quite heavily over there. For Dallas, we could basically assume it'll be Casey DeSmith. Ottinger went yesterday. Interesting, David Riddick over Darcy Kemper today for LA. Georgiev in net. Looks like goalies looking pretty straightforward. We had a couple curious ones, but all in all, nothing too crazy here. Let's go to lineups. Let's go through all the teams that played today. Buffalo looks like the same lines they had last game. Tuck down on that third line, which is interesting. Paterka's been the hottest Sabre by far of late. Kulik with Thompson. And still no Josh Norris, if I remember correctly. Still day-to-day. Oh, also Zucker and Greenway. I didn't realize they were out. Calgary, still breaking up Kadri and Huberto. It's working for them right now. So you can't even hate on it when it works. They're on a pretty hot winning streak right now. They got to keep that going. Carolina doesn't play. Chicago doesn't play. Wait, Carolina doesn't play today, right? Colorado does. They're not changing a damn thing. This might be the best team in hockey. They're either the deepest team or the second deepest behind Dallas. But man, this forward core is insane. D core is the same. They're not changing anything on the power play. Dallas, they played today again on a back-to-back. This team's going to be scary deep when Tyler Seguin comes back, though. Scary deep when Seguin comes back. Red Wings, Tarasenko on the top line. That's new. That's new. That was Rasmussen previously, right? Maybe some value on him. We might have some decent like shot on goal props or something like that there. Edmonton still no McDavid, still no Draisaitl. They had a good fight back yesterday. Came up short in the end. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins got a great head-to-head history against Seattle, so we'll take a look at him. Florida doesn't play today. LA does. They're not changing a thing. They've been good lately. Looks like, I don't even know who that is. First game? Yeah, season debut today. Never played an NHL at 27. Hopefully he has a good game. I love stories like that. Wild, still no Joel Eriksson X, still no Kaprizov, but they are starting to skate with the team, which is big news. It means we might see them in the next week or two, basically ramping up or starting to ramp up come playoff time. Montreal, no changes here. I know they lost their last game, but I think they'll be fine. I think they're gonna pick this back up. Right? They did lose their last game, right? I'm not just talking. Am I imagining that? Yeah, they did against the Blues. They've lost their last three actually, but they keep getting overtime points. I think it's a good game for them to stop the bleeding. It just sucks that it comes against a team with so much to play for today. Again, typically you'd say Philly's got absolutely nothing to play for. But when you're looking at all in all, I'm very, very, very happy. Actually, I don't know, man. I might stay away from this game. I'm really, really not sure if I want to stay on this game or not. Nashville, they just changed their lines up a decent bit. These are the same top six that they went for the last game. However, Steven Stamkos, Jonathan Marchessault, Michael Bunting. I like this line. They actually look halfway decent 5-on-5. You got to remember the Nashville Predators, they're only able to score at home. They are genuinely only able to score at home right now. So I want to continue and fade them. I think St. Louis gets the job done again. St. Louis has been able to take care of business 2 times in a row against them. Islanders don't play today. Rangers don't play today. I think the next team up is the Flyers. We have no idea what Flyers lines are going to be. The Flyers lines, complete guessing game right now. We'll see during the early warm-ups right now for them. However, I expect Matvei Michkov to get I don't want to curse, a ton of ice time. I think Torts, you don't really have to worry about that anymore. I think you're going to get the Philadelphia Flyers with so much ice time today. I'm very, very curious to see how that plays out. Penguins, they play today? Penguins? They do, against the Buffalo Sabres. Malkin continues to be out. Malkin missed last game. He was out like last second. Top line's really the only thing you could trust on Pittsburgh side of things right now. Really the only ones you can trust. And then Jari back in the net again today. He had a really bad last game against Tampa Bay. But overall, since coming back from the AHL, he's been pretty good. San Jose, love them stacking this top line. I think Will Smith's due for a really big game. He's kind of, towards the back half of the season, he's really figured it out. He's had a really good towards end of the season. He usually like to Foley on that line too, though. So we'll see how they play that out. I'm sure they'll be on the first power play. Kraken, yeah, they do play today. Shane Wright on that top line. I'm curious. I actually really want to go potentially run Shane Wright point here. He's been really good in the back half now. Chandler Stevenson, a little bit more ice time, a little bit more power play time. We'll take a look at him. St. Louis. Anything change? No. No changes here. I saw that Parayko's starting to skate. Parayko should be live relatively soon. Should be back relatively soon. He's starting to skate with the team. This team's hot right now. I think they get the job done in Nashville. I know Nashville's better at home, but I think they get the job done. Again, Tampa Bay, no changes. I mean, they put the belt towards Pittsburgh. Last game at home, tough road trip here for Utah. Vejmelka's been struggling. They're kind of working him down a ton of late. I do like the idea here of Tampa Bay again here today. Toronto, late. I mean, they're not changing a thing. They looked great against Philly. I really, really was wondering how John Tavares and William Nylander pull it out today. But typically what I've seen is I stay away from Nylander's line on the road, and I kind of just back Tavares and Matthews and Marner. Tavares has better home road splits than Nylander does. Nylander's crazy. He's so good at home and so, like, not mediocre, but, like, he's not the same on the road. Tavares is typically fine with that, and the top guys are usually fine with that as well. Utah, no changes. No, nothing to see here for change-wise. Vigimelka again and again. Vigimelka started like 15 in a row. Little plus money stack, Protus, Sorelli, Bolduc. Okay. I'm a little bit different from you, Joe. I went with just two guys. Nice plus money stack. I went Holloway and Michkov. I think Matt Fay is going to have a really good game, cast free of the shackles of John Tortorella. That's my number one kind of thing that I'm looking at. I think Michkov's going to get a lot more ice time. I think he's going to get a lot more chance to express himself and not play scared, especially in the offensive zone. I just like how Dylan Holloway's played, especially on the road. And then again, I think Michkov's going to get a big bump. I'm thinking like 2-3 minutes in ice time today with a new head coach. Vancouver do not play today. Vegas, none of these teams play today, right? No, Washington does. Yeah, Holloway, you can get at minus 120. Well, really quickly, you can get Holloway at like minus 120 for St. Louis. Where is it? Minus 125. I mean, he's on fire right now. His assist this season, I mean, he's been great. Not assist, sorry. His point this season, especially on the road, 61%. He's been on absolute fire overall. He's getting a point in, what is that, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 games right now. Really, really hot. So curious or interesting about that Parlay Bandit, he's always been on that second power play unit. But St. Louis in general, they don't really have like a 1A, 1B type power play unit. They split up all their guns. They don't go like your typical where all your best players are on one. They like to split this up. So realistically, I would almost say the second quote unquote power play unit is probably more well put together than the first is. They're more of like a 1A, 1B type situation. And then if it ever gets down to like at the end of the game, they need a goal with an empty net, I guarantee you they'll kind of stack this up and go like Shen, Thomas, Holloway, Kyrou, Neighbors, Falk. You know what I'm saying? Really, the only guy from the top power play unit that might get into the second one would be Thomas. So I really see it as a 1A, 1B. I'm not too worried about that. I think that's everything for the line combos though, right? I can't think of anything else right now on the line side of things. What's going on here? Live sweat action tonight, Onion. I'm not 100% sure today yet. I'm not 100% sure. I got a couple things that I'm working on. I do like that we have lives finally back, which is really, really nice. So I'll get back to it relatively quickly, though. I'll let you guys know on Twitter if I do get time for it. I know I have a meeting today, like 8 o'clock or something like that. So I don't want to start and then stop. That's the last thing I want to do. Let's get into it, though. Senators, Red Wings. Last time these two teams played, the Red Wings were all over them. Olmark just made like 80 saves. I'm joking. I think it was like 49 or something like that. Olmark in net again today. Two teams that desperately need points. I think the Red Wings at this point are kind of slipping away from this last playoff spot. I think there's nice value on the Red Wings at home. Senators, one of those teams, not crazy bad home road splits, but the Red Wings are significant or better at home, and the Senators are significantly better at home on the road. I like the value at plus money. This is really, you're getting what? They're only 3 points out. They're not that far out of this playoff race. They just have a hellish schedule the rest of the way to go. If they want to have any opportunity here, like this is the game that isn't as much of a must win without being necessarily a must win for Detroit. Kind of like the Red Wings. I also kind of like Olmark saves today. I think no matter what they're ripping, they have to be ripping puck today. Utah versus Tampa. I have no idea where this game's going to go. I think Tampa probably wins, but Utah's definitely more desperate. I hate how much veg milk is being ridden by this team. His performance are starting to struggle because he's just being overplayed. They don't have a backup right now that they trust. He plays every single game. Veg milk has still been really, really good this year, so not going to bet against it, really. Montreal versus Philly. I was heavy on Montreal early. I don't bet against the new coach bump this year. I just don't. I think it's a scary thing this time of the year. Tampa Bay 14-2. Tampa Bay's at home, though. B. Freddie. Tampa Bay's the home team today. Tampa Bay's been hot in general, whether it be home road splits. I'm not overly worried about them where they play. Those are the best teams to bet on, the ones that you could trust either way. But typically speaking, I think it's a mental thing. I don't know. As favorites, it's pretty good. I mean, Tampa Bay, there's a solid team with good depth nowadays. Going into it's just like a mental thing. Like players, one, they're trying to play and impress the team and show that it's not me, it's the coach. But secondly, they're also playing for their jobs next year, right? They're playing for contracts, they're playing for money, they're playing for job security. That's why I hedged out of my bet. I'm just like, I'm not messing around with it. I think Montreal should be more desperate. I think Montreal needs this win more than Philly does. But I'm telling you, this whole new coach thing is a crazy, crazy, crazy thing to go look at, and I will not be betting against it personally. Not for me. Where were we? Pittsburgh Buffalo. I think I like goals. I think I like goals. I also think the Pittsburgh Penguins shouldn't be plus money against Buffalo. That scares me. This is a scary ass line for me. I lean Pittsburgh instantly at plus money. Buffalo, I don't think they deserve this respect, especially with so many people out as well. I'd lean goals because it looks like we're getting the old Jari back, and you know that Pittsburgh's able to score goals. I'm just going to stay away once again. I think there's a lot of stuff on this slate that I'm just not 100% confident in, and I'm just kind of staying away. Washington versus Minnesota is another one. Isn't Buffalo 19 or 9-2 at home lately? Buffalo's significantly better at home of late. I just think. Actually, let me look exactly. So I just want to mess the stats up. Sabres home games. Let me pull up stats because I don't want to get any of the stats wrong. It looks like it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. It's 9-3 in their last 12. Pritz, 9-3 in their last 12 at home. Some bad losses, losing to San Jose, but then beating Vegas. That's kind of crazy when you think about it. It's also been a while. They have a couple good wins here, but all in all, when I'm looking at this, Boston, that's a nothing win. Nashville, anyone could beat them on the road. Beating the Devils, I mean, it's a decent one, but I think this was before all our injuries. So that's actually a pretty good win. Columbus can't win games on the road. The Rangers, we know what they are. Anaheim, they're a good team. It's not a bad loss. It's not a bad win, I'm sorry, but like it's not great. The loss to San Jose, that's a bad loss. Montreal, that's an okay loss. Montreal, they've proven they're a good team. Edmonton, was this before or after all the injuries? I forget if McDavid and all them played in this game. If it's before that, no, that was before. That's actually a good win. That's a really good win. I don't want to give them any hate for that. Vegas, great win. I mean, you can't take anything. I know Vegas is slightly worse on the road, but that's still a great win. And Ottawa, pretty bad on the road. I think when you take a look back, it looks decent. They haven't really had too many good wins. Again, I'm not betting against it. I think you're right, Florida. Buffalo has been significantly better on the road of late, but or at home of late. I'm sorry, Jesus Christ. I'm just not betting. I think goals is probably the safer look of it. I think Jari again. He started showing those kind of cracks last game, and that's scary. You don't know which Jari you're going to get. St. Louis versus Nashville. You just can't be giving me St. Louis at this price. I know Nashville's better at home, but St. Louis just beat them 2 times of 2. Both relatively easy wins for them. I think it was 4-1 both games. St. Louis is hot. St. Louis is playing for their lives and currently really snatching up that last playoff spot right here. St. Louis is a pretty good road team as well. I know Nashville's better at home, but I think it's a crazy price for St. Louis here. Speaking of, I don't like to really dabble with teams on back-to-backs. I think the value on Dallas is fine here. Honestly, if anything, I might lean to the under in this game. Of late, I don't have money puck up. Let me pull it up and then go back. Of late, Casey DeSmith's actually outplayed Jake Ottinger. Casey DeSmith's actually been really good of late in his last 10 games. Compared to Jake Ottinger, who had a good game yesterday. He must have saved a ton of it because he was slightly lower than that. That changed. He must have had a really good game yesterday. Casey DeSmith is a little bit under-respected for a backup goalie. We all know that Dustin Wolf is fantastic, and we talked about Wolf starting, right? For sure. Yeah, Wolf is starting. Kind of lean to the under here. Dallas Stars team that's tired. It looked like they were going to have an easy game, kind of let up towards the end. They had to use a lot of energy to preserve the win. I lean under in the Stars Flame game. I might officially lock that into. I like that one. Oilers Kraken. Now, again, we're talking about another team on a back to back. Oilers historically do pretty well against Seattle. We had the under last game. I'm not sure if I want to go to the under yet again here. That's another scary one here. Because we got burned on the under last game because of some bad goaltending performances. Now you have Picard and Decord, who's been struggling lately. I most likely would lean to the Kraken as home dogs with Edmonton on a back to back. This price for the Avs is insane. Absolutely insane price for the Avs. The LA Kings are not the LA Kings on the road. They're 14 and 23 on the road. The Colorado Avalanche are 24 and 10 at home. I would drink the juice. I would absolutely take this. I think the Colorado Avalanche get work done today. David Riddick's in net. That's their backup. Let me actually see his numbers. I haven't checked David Riddick's numbers recently. I mean, significantly worse from Darcy Kemper. So you got the backup in net today. Big fan of the Avalanche today. I think the price is ridiculous. Minus 150 doesn't really get too much better than that. I'm not gonna lie. Cool. And then the last game of the day, Leafs Sharks. I know didn't the Sharks beat them last time? Ooh, 3.5 team total. Pritz, that's a great shout right there. Thank you. That might be even safer. It's not a bad look. It's not a bad look at all. That might be even safer. I think they get the job done regardless today, though, because the Kings have this inability to even score goals on the road. Okay. Cool. I can't hear what you're saying. What? Onion. Ads on I'm sorry, Twitch. I'm sorry about that. Cool. Player prop side. I didn't throw any ads on. All right, we're back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Sweet. What I was saying is, I love the addition Pritz of the over 5.5 or 5.5, 3.5 team total goals for the Avalanche. I think the bigger prize. I feel like the LA Kings just don't score as much on the road. I want to double check that. Sorry about that, Michael. So the Kings on the road. Yeah, the Kings go from one of the highest scoring teams to one of the lowest scoring teams. So I guess my real thing is if the Abs can't score, because the Kings still typically do have a pretty good defense, I feel like I'd be slightly safer in playing the slightly safer in just playing the Abs money line, right? The Avalanche have the ability and the defense to play like a pretty low scoring game if they needed to win 3-1, 3-0. It's not a bad look, especially at plus money. And Riddick does suck. So that was kind of basically what I was saying during the ad break. Cool. And then the last game I'm not touching. Leafs first game on a really long road trip here. I just don't have a lean regardless of this game. So in terms of my favorite sides today, I like the Avs to win. I like the under in Stars Flames. I like the Blues to win. Do we think part of me likes goals in Montreal Philly? Just because I feel like Philly's going to be playing so freed, like not playing this defensive structure dump and chase game. But that's too much of a guess for me than anything. I'll probably stay away from it. I think those are the only ones I like. Blues to win, the under in Flame Stars, the Avs to win the game. Cool. I think that's everything today. Relatively quick stream. I don't have a what's the word I'm looking for here? Oh, points wise, a couple guys that I like for a point today. Phased, really good timing of that one. I posted on Twitter already. My top four today are Sidney Crosby, Jake Gensel, Mitch Marner, and Cale Makar. So we're kind of going into a lot of those. Love that you mentioned Crosby. He's just been one of the better players in hockey of late. Home road didn't really matter. Put up a legacy point on the road, down 6-0 against Tampa Bay. I like it a ton. So that's one of them. Oh, Jake Gensel. I talked about it a little bit, but Vijmelka's really starting to struggle of late. Oop, that's not him. He's starting to struggle of late because they're starting him every single game. I don't know the last time Karel Vijmelka had a day off, and he's really starting to like lower in performances because of it. I think Tampa Bay continues to score. I think Tampa Bay continues to go for it. I mean, Tampa Bay's got a real chance of winning this division, getting home ice secured for a pretty long time here. They've been hot. I mean, look at that goal differential. They might be the best team in the Atlantic, and no one really talks about it. I like Gensel, especially he's got some really good home splits, and Kucherov's back on his line. Makar going back into the David Riddick thing at home. LA struggles on the road, and Colorado just scores more at home. And then finally, the last one being what was the last one? Oh, Mitch Marner, Alexander Georgiev's in net. I don't think we really need too much more there. Two long shots for a point. Longer shots. They're not long shots. I like Mitchkov and Dylan Holloway. I think both of them have been pretty hot lately. I think especially Mitchkov's going to get a lot more ice time than expected. I think those are nice looking leans on that side as well. I think that's really about it. Today's for a 10-game slate, I'm pretty light today. There's not a lot of stuff that I like personally. So I think that's about it for me today. I'm gonna hop off. I got to do a couple of cleaning things since we just got back. As always, if you guys don't already have a ProfitX account, sign up. Use code Cheddar. When you do, you get up to $300 or 300 bonus cash on ProfitX across your first month. Full host of MLB player props. A lot of people are asking when NHL is over, we're going to be doing MLB streams. I'm going to need a new fancy name. It's not going to be the power play. It's not going to make any more sense. But we're going to change it up. We're going to have some fun name for baseball stuff. So we're going to continue the streams. Full host of player props already available for MLB. Doing nice work in getting that added into the NHL as well. So we get have fun on here. Appreciate everyone supporting today. I know it's a little tough time right now because everyone's watching MLB and opening day, but I'll be back. What's the slate looking like tomorrow? Yeah, Pritz. We really. I feel bad whenever like I play that on FanDuel because just like not everyone has the ability to do so. But I would love that to be added. Nice side slate tomorrow, actually. So tomorrow we will be back 4 p.m. same time. Actually, a really nice slate was a couple of pretty fun games. Utah on a back-to-back. Geez, Florida might be feasting. The Rangers got to show some urgency, right? Canucks Blue Jackets is fun. Devils Jets is an okay game. Actually, a decent sized slate tomorrow. So I will be back tomorrow at 4 p.m. Appreciate everyone that's been here. Again, code Cheddar and ProfitX if you haven't already. Available in 40 of the 50 states and get up to $300 back in bonus cash when you do that. Regardless, I appreciate you guys very, very much. And yeah, I'll be back tomorrow at 4 p.m. Peace, guys.